Good morning, everyone, and welcome to River City Plus, the place where we get to have deep dive conversations with change makers right here in the 904. And I am back with author Nikki so that we can take a journey really into the creation and the development of your book and also the stories inside. So thank you for joining me for River City Plus.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
One thing that's funny is when we come off the show, we have a little bit of a break between
Yes.
the show and coming in here. And I almost have to want to not talk to the guests because we get into such a great
Yes.
conversation. And then I'm excited to bring you all in and I don't want you to miss anything. And what we were chatting about was the development of your book and really the logistics that went into it. So in here, there's voices from 8 different women and their collective stories on the tragedy of losing a child. And one thing that we mentioned on the show was the amount of emotions and the
Yes.
amount of really just repercussions that women feel when they experience the loss of a child. There's depression, there's so many things that come
Yes.
with it. And you were moved by the Lord to say,
Yes.
I see you, I hear you, I haven't walked in these shoes, but I'm here to help you share your story.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think that's very important here in the community. It's always love one, you know. And so for me, I don't have to lose a child to love on you. And so me empathizing with these women because I want them to have, you know, a good life, their purpose, you know. And so this is my purpose. I'm walking in. So sometimes we have to go through pain, you know, to find our purpose. And these mothers, unfortunately, had to deal with the pain and trauma, and now they're turning their pain into purpose. So I push them to that.
So I love that you use the word push because I was wondering, do you ever receive pushback on account of you haven't had to experience the loss of a child? Did you ever have to have that conversation to say and respond to, you don't know how I feel?
Yes, yes, I do get some pushback, and I understand it's coming from a hurtful place of dealing with, you know, losing a child. So I take that as I don't have to lose a child to love on you. And so once I make that clear, sometimes they, you know, they fall back, but it's coming from a hurt place, and I get it, you know,
Of
because
course.
I haven't, you know, lost a child, but I have to keep pushing, you know, because there is a mother that do need me, you know, to help continue to push her through. And so, you know, again, I have a purpose here. I ask God to give me my purpose, and here it is with Silent Women Speaking. So I go hard for all my moms. I started off about 50, and I'm over 100.
Wow.
And so I know that this is my purpose to continue to, you know, to push them through.
And this is just volume 1 of many that I know we're going to
Yes.
see. And we
Yes.
do demand the exclusive. We're going to go
Yes.
ahead and be River City selfish right now because I know you have so many things in the works, sharing really authentic voices
Right.
and stories of these women. But can you tell me about the different types of women that are in this book? Because
Yes.
I think oftentimes women, you know, if we're in a certain professional category, if we're, you know, from a certain kind of family, sometimes it's hard to relate to others, but unfortunately, when you have something like this that truly does bond you, you can see how we are all connected no matter how
Right.
different we are.
Right, yes. So in this book here, I do have 8 history makers. They all deal with tragic different. I have one mother that child was suicide. I had a mother who child died of cancer, gun violence. So it doesn't matter what it is, you know, they're all dealing with trauma or grief. So for me to bring these women together to write their, you know, their hurt out, their pain out, it was a lot of sweat and tears, you know, leading up to this, and to watch them finish their chapter and bring it to life. I am so proud of them. Like it took a lot.
I'm proud that you brought these voices together, gave these women a platform to share their story because like you said, there's so many different types of loss.
Yes.
And just in our immediate society, we're seeing how much younger violence is touching
Yes.
children, how many children are getting pulled and sucked into
Yes.
it. And as a mother, I can't imagine the helplessness that you feel when you see a child start to slip away or when you find out
Yes.
information like that. So as someone who acts as a mentor, you know, you work with athletes, you work with so many children, and she just said, I just love kids. I
Yes.
just love kids. And so seeing that, how does that translate into motivating you to protect the children that are still with us and make sure that they have an emotionally available mom to mother them?
Helping keeping their mother balance. If what I learned with our youth is that if they're home, is at a good, safe place, then they're most likely will come to school and perform. If home is not dealing with grief and trauma, then of course that's gonna, have them a little shaky. So once I try to balance mom at a place where I give her the resources, the love, the support that she needs, so now that she can pass it along to, her family, because it's a domino effect. Once mom loses a child, it's a lot, grief deal with, everything goes out the door. And so sometimes she loses herself in that moment to be able to help her other kids. So as a mentor, my goal is to come in and help mom and try to help balance that, those resources with her.
Right. What other resources do you like to focus on in addition to the therapeutic solution of writing and truly sharing that trauma? What other resources do you find are helpful in dealing with grief? Like you said, there's so many different
Yes.
ways of loss, unfortunately, like whether that was from birth, it was a stillbirth, whether it was from gun violence. There's so many different stages, unfortunately, where you could lose a child and where women have lost a child. How do you get them into that next phase?
Mental health. Mental health is very, very important because, again, once you're dealing with trauma, it does cause grief, it does cause depression. And so once we get that again, we have to be accepted of grief. Again, I'm very big on mental health. I push my mothers to get that, that release, talk about it, get it out, write it down, and let me listen.
Right.
That's what I'm here for. And so, I believe just understanding, and again, because I haven't lost a child, that's why I built that sisterhood. So now they can able to be amongst women who can relate. And so once they there, it's good.
Right.
The sisters get along, they're laughing, they're crying, but it's a good sisterhood. So, I sit back and I watch them, and I really, really enjoy the connection that they make.
When you're communicating with these women and when you are sharing these stories, has there ever been anything shared with you that you could share with us? For example, like how can we be a better friend, a better family member, to someone who has experienced the loss of a child? Because sometimes have you ever just been at a loss for words? I know that I've encountered situations where you're speechless, but you want to help and you want to make it better, but you don't want to say the wrong thing. So what do we do to help those people?
You just listen. You just listen. You let them just get it out. You let them vent. Of course, if you see something, need something, I take food. I help pay bills if I can. But the most part, just listening. Because sometimes if you haven't lost a child, you just don't know what to say. Yeah. And I stay from the word healing because healing is a process, but they'll never understand that because, of course, they'll never heal from losing a child. So I come and I listen.
Yeah. Listening is huge. But how do we articulate to someone that we have a safe space for them to listen?
Trust. As I gain that trust to let them know that, you are here for them.
Yeah.
So most of my mothers know that I operate out of love. And so, I show them I love them. I show up for them. If they call me, I'm here. I listen. I can sit on the phone for hours and they just talk about their children. And so once they get it out, okay, I'm okay for today.
Yeah.
Now tomorrow they may call again.
Right.
But, just me showing up, just letting them know that I am here, building that trust with them, to let them know that I'm here.
So I have to ask you because, and this is a little bit off book here, but if you were someone who is constantly communicating with people who are truly grief-stricken, how do you keep your cup full to make sure that you can continue to pour into others? Because often caregivers, caregiver burnout is huge. We've talked about that before on the show. Mental caregiving, burnout can be really a thing. And I know that you are an infinite fountain of love, but how do you keep it flowing?
I'm really going to say God because this is really my purpose. So it's crazy. I don't get tired. It's even now, like I'm just finding what can I do next for them. So when you really truly have a purpose, God give you the balance. And so I really appreciate, the balance that I have. I'm able to, continue to go. I say I'm going to rest every time, and here I am now with the book. So I'm say God and grace, this balance.
Is there a specific conversation you have with God when you ask him for direction? How do you communicate with him?
I tell God, I only want what you want me to have. If you don't want me to have it, I don't want it. And I go about my day. No, whatever it is he want me to have, that's what I want.
So what do you want next for these women?
Oh, so much. I want them to travel. I want them to accept the fact that God has a different plan for us. I want them to know that it's more to life. You know, this is your pain is purpose. So I want them in the moment to ask God to show them their purpose, and their purpose is may help another woman in this, you know, in this situation, or it can be just writing a book, giving someone else hope that they can write. So whatever it is that they ask God for their purpose, I want them to get their purpose. Yeah.
And just finding that, I think it's really special that you found it and it was very clear to you in that message. Do you have advice for anyone who is looking for their purpose and has not found it yet? Whether it's women who are trying to write their next chapter afresh, whether it's young people that are going off to college, or you know, you're a middle-aged Jana who's just like, what am I here to do besides be in love with Rance and just love our city?
For me, be careful what you ask for as well, because when I asked God for my purpose, I did not know that
He said, say less.
Yes, so I'm going to tell you to be careful what you pray for, because I did ask God to show me my purpose, and again, I thought my purpose was working with youth, and I found out that's my passion. My purpose is bringing women together who are dealing with grief to help them, empower them. And so if you are looking for your purpose, just be ready. Be ready, because you don't know when, how, and when it's going to come. So be ready for it.
So if you pray about it, just be ready to buckle up.
Yes, be ready to
Okay.
buckle up.
All right. Well, we are going to buckle up and make sure that we can continue to
Yes.
support you and these
Thank
women,
you.
their journey, their voices. I'm so proud of you
Thank
and
you,
what you're
thank
doing.
you.
Thank you for letting me share your story today.
And thank you for having me.
You're
Thank you.
welcome back anytime for volume 2.
Yes.
And whatever else is to come.
Yes,
Can't
ma'am.
say it because it's in the works, but
Yes.
just please go and support her. You know, a young woman doing incredible things.
Thank you.
When we say women support women, this is what we mean.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us here on River City Plus. Nikki, thank you to you
Thank
and
you.
everything that you do. And we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for River City Live.